Lesson 64, we're going to be adding positive and negative numbers. In the past, we've used number lines when adding positive and negative numbers. As you can see here, just as a review, if you have -2 plus a -3, I can show you on this number line that it equals -5. You always start at 0. You go back to -2. Then you're adding -3 to it, so that's going 3 more negative. So therefore, your answer is -5. Notice my signs on both my 2 and my 3 are the same, meaning their negative signs are the same. So therefore, it's just like adding 2 plus 3, but you keep your negative signs. On the next one, I have 2 plus 3 equals positive 5. Same thing. Start at 0, go up to 3, then you add 2 more. 1, 2, I'm at positive 5. Notice again, positive sign, same signs. So therefore, in my answer, I also have a positive sign. And if we go back to the problem before this, our answer was also a negative sign. So notice all 3 times that our signs are positives. This one's all negative, and this one is all positive. So if you add 2 positive numbers, you're going to get a positive number. If you add 2 negative numbers, you're going to get a negative number. Let's take a look at some of the rules as a review. Here are the rules for adding positive and negative integers. The first rule is the sum. Remember, sum means addition. The sum of 2 numbers with the same signs has an answer with the same sign, just like the 2 examples from review. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Positive number, positive number, positive number. Okay, if I have -3 plus a -3 equals a -6. Negative sign, negative sign, negative sign. Same signs to begin with, I add them together, I get the same sign in the end. I just added the 2 numbers. Same signs to begin with, add them together, I still get a positive number. Let's look at rule 2. If we have the sum of 2 numbers with opposite signs, meaning one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. So the sum of 2 numbers with opposite signs has a difference. Difference means subtract. Subtract, this could mean positive or a negative. The difference of 2 numbers, but the answer keeps the sign of the bigger absolute value. Okay, for example, we may have positive 3 plus a -5. Different signs here. I have a positive and I have a negative. So therefore, all I have to do is take 5 minus 3 and get 2. Now, this is where the end part of our rule comes in. Whichever one in the beginning has the biggest absolute value. The absolute value of -5 is 5, and the absolute value of 3 is 3. Well, 5 is bigger, so therefore I have to keep the sign from 5. So in my answer, I need to have this negative sign here. My answer is -2. So different signs, opposite signs, I need to subtract the 2 numbers, and then whichever one has a bigger absolute value, this case it was 5, you take the sign of that number. And the third rule is the sum of 2 opposites is 0. Therefore, if you have -3 plus +3, you're going to have 0. Let's take a look at example 1. In example 1, we're asked to find each sum. Let's look at A. A says -54 plus a -78. If I look at the signs, I see that they're both negative, so therefore I know my answer is going to be negative. I'm going to leave my negative sign right there. Then all I have to do is just add 54 and 78. When I do that, I get 132. negative 132. Now let's look at B. Look at the signs out front, 45 and 67. If I have 45, absolute value of 45 is 45. Then, if I have the absolute value of negative 67, the absolute value of that is 67. This is a bigger number, that way I know I have to take this sign. Therefore, my answer is going to be negative, just like example A. So I'm going to put my negative sign over there. Now, since they have different signs, I have to subtract the two. So it's like 67 minus 45, 7 minus 5 is 2, 6 minus 4 is 2. So therefore, I have a difference of 22, and 67 is the greater absolute value, so therefore my answer is negative 22. And the last one, notice different signs again, but it's 92 and 92. Oh, they are opposites, so negative 92 plus a positive 92, that equals 0. In example 2, we're asked to find each sum again. This time we have more than just two numbers. So take what you know. Same signs, I can just add those together. I see that 3, 2, and 4 all have negative signs in front of them, so I'm going to add those together. 3, 2, and 4. Add them together because they all have negative signs. 4 and 3 is 7, plus 2 more is 9. Now my problem is 9 plus positive 7. And it's a negative 9, remember? We have to keep the same sign. Now, negative 9 plus a positive 7, different signs here. I see that 9 has a negative, 7 has positive, so therefore I have to subtract the 2 and take the bigger absolute value. 9 minus 7 is 2. My answer is going to be 2, but is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative? If I have the absolute value of negative 9, I get 9. Absolute value of 7, I get 7. 9 is the bigger number, therefore I take the sign on 9, which is a negative sign, and put it on my answer. My answer is negative 2. In example 3, we're finding each sum. Now we have mixed numbers and decimals. Let's focus on the mixed numbers. Remember, when we add fractions, we have to have common denominators. The common denominator of 2 and 3 is 6. So when I convert all of those, I have 2, and I'm going to multiply this by 3 over 3 to get a common denominator of 6. So therefore I have 3, 6, and it's negative. Plus a negative 3, I'm going to multiply this one by 2 over 2, and I'm going to get 2, 6. Now I can add them together because I have common denominators. Notice I have the same signs again, so my answer is going to be negative. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then all I have to do is add the fraction tops. 3 plus 2 is 5, 6. So therefore my answer on this is negative 5, 6. If I look at B, I have a positive number and a negative number. Different signs, so I know I'm going to subtract the two. The bigger number is 7.24. 7.24 minus 4.3, line up your decimals, and subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. I have to borrow here. 12 minus 3 is 9. 6 minus 4 is 2. So I get 2.94 as my answer. I just said earlier that 7.24 is a bigger number than 4.3. The sign on 7.4 is a negative sign, so therefore I need to have a negative sign in my answer. My answer is negative 2.94. We have one more example to look at. In example 4, it says, on one stock trade, Mr. Figuera lost $450. Lost $450 would be like a negative $450. On a second trade, Mr. Figuera gained $800. Gained tells me that's a positive. What was the net result of the two trades? Basically, we're just adding these two integers. Notice I have a negative sign and a positive sign. different signs, so we subtract the two, then take the bigger absolute value. So 800 minus 450 is 350. Which one has the bigger absolute value is what we're going to go with. The absolute value of negative 450 is 450. The absolute value of 800 is 800. Therefore, 800 is a bigger number. The sign on it is positive, so therefore it's a positive $350. For your practice, I would like for you to do A through C. See you tomorrow.